All right, guys, welcome back to Mesopotamia Say. What? So I'm finally not sick anymore. I've got a little bit of congestion still. It's been a long cold. I don't know what's up, but anyway, you can see a lot has changed since the last video, and it's because nothing really has arisen to challenge me. I was pretty much easily able to conquer forward, take my third oil field here, and I did have a temporary problem in that over here, Portugal sent like a floating army, a pretty big floating army with like 2 railguns, 14 cannon, 150 troops, and a couple bombers, and just like floating along here. And of course, I detected them, and you can see all these scouts I had on the shoreline, just watching them as they were going down the waterline here. I finally just got tired of it, and what I did was I took my entire force that has a lot of artillery. I'm splitting them into 3 now, but I had about 40 artillery, maybe. I can't remember. No, not 40, but more like 28 or something. And I went ahead and moved them up to the water, and then in conjunction with my bombers, who I believe I've got over here, got a nice significant amount of bombers, 18 bombers. I went ahead and just completely destroyed them in the water. It was weird. I didn't want to attack them because you can see they're actually adjacent to me here, right here. So Portugal, I was not at war with Portugal, and I didn't want to be at war necessarily. But when you send that kind of huge force that far through the water, and he's all the way, like literally, I think he made it as far as here with that giant force. And I thought, I don't know what he's going to do, but you just can't have that large of a force that deep into your territory. So went ahead and sniped him off. And so I am now at war with Portugal as well. You can see pretty much all my neighbors here have declared war on me. Poland declared war, Belgium, and Romania. And at this point, my popularity is so low, it's 15%. It's just going to be like that from now on. I'm just going to have to deal with that. So what I've done here is I've got forts along here. I'm continuing to build cannon back here. I normally don't build cannon in the backfield here because cannon are so slow. I usually try to build faster things in the home 8, usually aircraft if I can, things that can get to the front quickly. But now I don't really need to get to the front. What I'm trying to do is stock each of these frontier sort of garrisons with at least 1 artillery each. So you can see up here around my very, very valuable oil field, I've got some big forces here. I've got tanks stacked in with infantry, and each of these have 2 artillery, this one, and this one. The main outposts have 2, and then I have a remote outpost out here that also does have 1 artillery, and I've been continuing just to build up levels on all of my forts, all the way up to level 5 here, and just trying to keep, building these up. And that's the best you can do. They're going to declare war on you because that's just what the AI does late in the game when your popularity is so low. So this is a very interesting game because I've been working with James Calloway here, and excuse me, I could tell he's kind of a beginner player, or just getting into the game. And I saw he was moving towards Baghdad, so I really encouraged him because it's fun to take Baghdad. It really is. You get all 8 of the outer ones, and each of the 8 are doubles, and then you get the hyper. This is a double. Like, look at this, 28,500, and he doesn't have it up to 100%. It's just at 72%. So think about that, 28,500. Let's go to one of my fully developed ones over here, this double, right? So 18. Fully developed, 100%, level 4 factory with a railway. I get 18. This is maxed out, guys. I can't get any more than what I'm getting right now. 100% morale, level 4 factory with a railway. I'm getting 18,340, maxed out. He gets this, the Baghdad oil, and check it out. He's not at 100%. He doesn't have a level 4 yet, and he's already 10,000 more oil per day than me. And then once he gets that level 4 in there, and this matures all the way to 100%, and by the way, he did move his capital. I was proud of him. Moved his capital to here. So it's a thrill. I'm glad for him. He's got it's a good feeling. it'll get you addicted to this game mode. This game mode is fun, and taking Baghdad is a lot of fun. So I was really glad he got to do that. And we both agreed, like, I could, of course, let him do that and not feel threatened by it because I can still win the game without Baghdad. However, here I am now. I've got 1, 2, and 3 oil fields. And so what I'm going to have to do is attack into this other hemisphere, right? So everything I've done so far has been in my own home hemisphere or on the island. But and then I did have to take over a few of these because that was the enemy. I'm actually doing the same thing here. This was the Tikrit garrison had gone over to the other side and attacked over here. So you can see I'm attacking over here again with maybe about 30 or so to try to take this out, and then I'll retreat back over and start stocking the waterfront territories here and building up those forts. But at some point, I'm going to have to come over here and attack. And it does look like a pretty easy deal to do because German East Africa has just barely taken this local thing. And German East Africa over here is the other large player in the game. So he has 2 stars right now. He is the second place player in the game. Although a big argument could be made that this star is more than just a star. But for the purpose of the game, it's just a star, right? You have to get 4 stars out of 7. But in terms of game power, I would say James Callaway is ahead of German East Africa here. Think about it. German East Africa has the core and 1 exterior. And then over here, he has the core and 1 exterior, right? So he has, let's just count them up. So this I consider a double-double. So that's 4, right? This is a double, so that's 6, right? Same thing over here, 6 total, right? A 4 and a 2 is 6. So altogether, let's give him 12 points of bonus oil field land, right? So a double is 1, 2, and then the quadruple in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 and 6 is 12. Let's come see what he has. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 on the outside, right? Counting each double is 2, that's 16. And then this is not 4 in here. This is 8. This is a double-double, right? So we're talking 16 and then 8 more, right? So 24. What do we count over here? 12, 24. So this guy is actually second place in terms of points because he has 2 stars. But I would say James Callaway is actually in second place in terms of just raw ability to produce. Now, he has been a little bit in and out of the game. We can see here he's not building a factory there yet. In fact, it doesn't look like he's building up much industry here. He did that earlier. He kind of came and went from the game. So it doesn't look like he's maximizing. There is a factory growing here. That's good. But each of these, there should be something building. Every single one of those. He should be industrializing, hardcore pushing towards industrializing this. Because once you get those 8 exterior doubles, I mean, look at what's there. Double wheat, 2 double wheats, 2 double irons, 3 double irons, and 3 double woods. I mean, this is an industrial power zone. All of your building materials, there are 3 doubles, right? 3 double woods and 3 double irons. Then boosting your food, 2 double wheats, and then hyper boosting your oil. So when you take, and I've done it, I've taken Baghdad. When you take Baghdad, you can then build all the mech units you want. It's such a powerhouse of resources. It's such a good thing to have. All right, that's about it. I'm going to have to move over here. When I take this, I'm going to have to engage the hostility of a very powerful player, Fire Blaster over here, who is German East Africa. The fact that he has so much land mass could counter the fact that he doesn't have as many doubles from those production oil zones. He's certainly a powerful player, certainly a player worthy of being worried about. Here I am. Here's Portugal, who I mentioned I just went to war with, and here's German East Africa in third place right behind. So he is a powerful player, someone to be concerned about, and I'm going to have to take him on, at least to take that 4th oil field that I need. Now the good news is he doesn't really have much power over here. So I should be able to lance in, just drive a straight corridor to this and take it. And I'm not going to do that. And you'll see as these videos continue. What I'm going to do is secure the rest of this land and snuff out as much red as I can because I don't want to be at war. I want to get my morale back to a good place. I removed, I moved it once and then I moved it again, my capital to here. So it is more central to my entire, you kind of want your capital to be in the middle of that sort of land mass. So I feel like I've done a good job of that so far. I'm going to finish up on the island here, take all of this, take everything red, and then I'm going to sit on it for a while and just build hyper defenses around all of my oil fields. You can see I haven't even finished industrializing these. Level 3 factory building here, aerodome, and I've only got a level 2, so I'm going to have to do more factory building there. So I'm still actively engaged in building up the industry of this oil field in all 5 of those territories. Got a ways to go. I'd like to get those maxed out. My second oil field is pretty much maxed out now. Pretty much got 4s with railways and everything, along with airfields as well. Building up level 2 bunkers, barracks in a lot of places to really churn out those infantry. I do have a double line of defense here. I have an earlier line of defense with 1 cannon and 30, 1 cannon and 21, and then a secondary with 2 cannon and some tanks backing them up. Really want to contain this guy on this side. Eventually, these other AI are going to attack me. And when that happens, I tend to back into my oil fields because those are my production zones. And if I really get them industrialized properly, then I can really defend them strongly and let things outside of those zones take care of themselves, not really worry as much about them. So moving forward, you'll see what I'm talking about. For now, I'm really just trying to keep my borders tight and let these produce. Just start to build defensive forces. I now have a nice large Air Force. I'm pretty happy about this Air Force with 18 bombers. I believe I have currently maybe 3 more bombers and 2 more fighters building, and I'll keep on building those as much as I can. Can't wait to get these on board to be able to build higher level mech units as well. So things are going well. I would say, when we come back, I think I'll come back right before I'm ready to take my 4th. I might even come back once before that just to kind of show you what my defensive array looks like, because in this mode, once you have 3, you really need to fortify those 3, because when you go for your 4th, it's true, and this is what should happen, every player in the game should attack you, because a little timer goes up and says, Spankerton's about to win this game in 3 days. And so really it's everyone's job to try to capture one of those stars back away from you, one of these, power zones. And so in theory, when you take your 4th and that timer starts, everyone should attack you. Really, everyone should attack you. Because for every person in that game, the game's about to be over and there's only one winner, right? So I really try to be powerfully defensive in all 3 of my initial oil fields and then move out with a strong enough army to take the 4th, but making sure to leave behind protectively in all 3 of my zones enough to keep them. So that's the balance late in the game. If you look through my channel, I've got an older playlist called 3 Base Drip, and it was exactly that. It was me with 3 bases getting ready to take my 4th. So if you want to go and look at what that looks like, go through the playlists and find 3 Base Drip and see what happened there. Once you have 3 bases, you're in a pretty good spot. Honestly, I've not had tight games in this mode. And what I mean is, gosh, that's not exactly true. I had a couple really tight ones earlier in my game career. But basically the thing is, either you get hit early, a noob attacks you early on and ruins both of your chances, and then you're just like, okay, archive this game, or you get a good solid takeoff like I did in this game. And really, once you start to gain advantage, you tend to kind of dominate the map. So I have yet to have where I take 3 and someone else takes 3, and then now we're both contending for maybe the middle or something. That would be pretty cool. Is if, I could take my local 2 and the side oil field, and the other person could take the local 2 and the island oil field over here. And so it'd be 3 against 3, evenly matched, and we're both basically whoever takes Baghdad wins the game. That would be exciting. I have not had any games like that. It seems like I either dominate this game and just blow it out of the water, or lose early and give up in frustration. So, but it'd be kind of cool to have that situation where you do have 3v3 at the very end. That would make for some exciting casting. But unfortunately, that's not what's going on here. You can see my biggest enemy has two, just barely has two. I don't know why he hasn't taken the rest of the four. Over here, it looks like he had to split it with other player characters. And then, of course, my friend over here who got to take Baghdad, I was very excited about that. It's fun to take Baghdad. It really is. I'm kind of hoping what he'll do is take that industrial might and push and take the rest of this island. But again, we looked and saw he's not really building anything. So he may just have to do with the enjoyment. It's fun to take. I think it's even more fun to develop and turn it into a powerhouse and really start churning out tanks and planes. But we'll see if he takes the bull by the horns or not. Either way, I've got my plans. I'm going to go ahead and try for my fourth here, but I'll be back before then. So you'll have a chance to check out something between now and then, because by the time I'm ready to attack into here, I will have large defensive forces at all three of my home oil fields. So thanks, as always, for coming out here. Please go ahead and spank that like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can see more games like this. I've got tons of playlists. Go back on my page and look through them. Just about every topic you could imagine in this game we try to cover. It's a super cool, complex game, so there's lots of angles to come at it from. We try to cover as many of those as we can. So anyway, thanks for showing up. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.